Hi,
Hi.
from On Tour. Podcast episode from On the Road.
Hey, girl, I gotta move out.
No, girl, don't go.
It's okay, girl. We're gonna start a pod.
Pod.
Ex-Roommates.
New episodes weekly. I mean monthly. I mean whenever the fuck we want. Rose and I are outside of our Airbnb right now. This is the extended tour of the Big Mouth tour that we did in October. We are now doing the West Coast. We're doing 8 dates. And today we have a day off in Sacramento, California. We had a show last night. And we were like, what better day to film our podcast?
What better day? Let's get back in the van.
And get to it. And update you guys on our lives.
This is the Beyoncé van.
Mm-hmm. That's what we call it.
This is where we've been traveling for hours. Honestly, I'm obsessed with it. And we've been traveling on the West Coast. So we've been seeing the prettiest places of all time.
Yeah, it's been really gorgeous, honestly. But yeah, something we learned from the past tour is that the van is everything. So in the last tour, we had a van that broke down and we switched into the Beyoncé van. It's just a Sprinter van. We call it the Beyoncé van because it's so nice and high ceilings and awesome. And we just started out Beyoncé van this time. And it's been really great.
Yeah.
We've done 4 dates out of the 8 so far. And it's been really good. I think, so if we're being real on this podcast.
Let's just be real.
Yeah. This tour is not selling as well as the October tour did. And I think there's many reasons for that. We're playing kind of B markets, so we're not playing as many major cities as we did the first go round. We're also, I think I started promoting it kind of way closer to these dates. I think that's a factor. I didn't give it enough time to promote the tour.
And potentially, you were just with Nightly.
Yeah, maybe that confused people because I was on tour with Nightly and now it's a headline tour and it wasn't, as obvious maybe. Some people came to Nightly's tour thinking it was my headline tour.
Oh, really?
And were like, oh, we were so confused when we showed up and you were the opener.
Oh.
So I think maybe, the way I promoted it, was maybe a little confusing.
How long, when we promoted for the first tour, how long did you promote it for?
I think I posted about it in June or July, and then we toured in October. And this tour, I think I promoted for 1 or 2 months.
Okay.
So,
and obviously, I wish both of us posting about it a few times would be
enough.
But then again, we went to Vancouver. It was a small crowd, but everyone was like, this is how all of our shows are here. They're just a little less full in this space.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it is B markets maybe does have something to do with that.
Yeah.
They are smaller crowd cities potentially.
And people who come are really big fans.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
In that sense, it's been awesome. I feel like everyone at these shows really cares, knows the lyrics, is singing, having a great time.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun, but it's just not as full, looking out into the crowd.
Totally.
I think, for our own egos.
Yeah.
We're oh, we wish the room was more full.
Yeah.
But in terms of everyone having fun, I think we're still having fun. Everyone there is having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that the audience seems to care that it's a smaller crowd.
Because I think they're this is what our shows are here.
Yeah.
I personally it's definitely ego wise oh damn, but I feel I've had some of my more favorite shows already this time around than last time.
That's great.
Maybe also because I've gotten more comfortable with because it's the same set pretty much that I'm doing, but also I feel I can really see everybody in the crowd, and then literally they come and talk to you right after. So it's
more intimate.
Yeah.
And even last night, there was a guy named Ben who came to our Sacramento show, and last tour in October came to San Francisco, and that show was lit. It was a full crowd, and just one of the bigger shows we played on that tour. And last night he came up to me after the show and said, I enjoyed this show more than the San Fran show, which was so special.
That's
and so
huge.
Nice to hear. Because I do feel I, as a performer, have grown as well. And I think I'm possibly performing better than I did then.
Totally.
And am being more engaging. Also, it's just nice to hear from a fan that he had a better time.
A girl said that in Portland also to me, who had been to the Seattle one.
Hell yeah.
And the Seattle one was, I thought, really huge last time.
Yeah, it was.
And I think, like, yeah, we've just been, like, getting better at performing, so that feels good. And it's, like, I feel like looking back at this tour, I'll be, like, proud of myself for, like, still putting on a full show. We're working with such, like, a great crew, like our band and everything. And they're so committed. They're like, we're going to give this crowd like a full show, like no pulling back, not at all. Let's just give it our all here. And I feel like with everybody on the same wavelength of like, let's do what we're here to do, put on an awesome show. I feel like a real professional. I do. I'm well, like, I'm so professional.
Yeah, I think it's so important. Like, these people paid tickets.
Totally.
It's like their special night out, and we owe it to them to put on a full show for them.
Totally. Brooke does this thing where she like puts someone's ex's name on a teddy bear and then she rips it off. And I've heard her do that many times. And I've heard her do it in like a sold out show. But last night it wasn't a sold out show and everyone like freaked out. I was like, what did she just do? I was like, oh, she did the bear thing. And people are like, ah! They like lost their minds. Yeah. So I think
you never know, like, sometimes the small crowds are the most vocal and also, like, buy the most merch. Like, you never know. It's not consistent. It's just, like, depends on the night, depends on the people that are there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I think it's good because it's important to be humble in this business. Mm-hmm. And I think playing shows like this gives us perspective for when we do play those sold-out shows so we can really appreciate and like not take it for granted.
And not only that, like Brooke and I, like we both post so much on social media and like it feels really important and it is, but it's also like it goes beyond social media and like it's really apparent when you play smaller shows. You're like, it humbles you in that just because you got 100,000 views on something doesn't mean you can sell at a show in Boise.
Yeah, they're totally different. And that's why a lot of artists now are realizing they have to build up their touring fan base because it's completely different than a social media fan base. And I think it's so good that we're doing this.
Yeah, but I do think it like, as much as people are like, they're completely different, I do find that like a lot of people will come up to the merch table and be like, I found you on Insta. I don't even know how I came across you. And I'm like, thank God, that's so cool because that's like free marketing that I've been doing myself. Yeah. So like I do think it's just the people who get off their couch and go to your show is going to be different than people just liking and commenting.
Totally.
So yeah, they go hand in hand, but they are different.
Yeah. And it's been cool to see the crossover. Like whenever someone comes up to me, I ask them how they found my music, and it's always Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and like also, what's cool is putting a name to a face of people who've bought merch from me because I pack up all my orders by myself and ship them out. So I'm seeing every name that comes across my screen. And so in Vancouver, there was a man named Clinton and he came with his wife to VIP. And then later I realized I'm shipping things to them in Vancouver all the time. So he's like supporting me all this time.
That's so cool.
And it's so nice to be able to put a name to a face like that.
I think that like the same with like just seeing people's names on like Insta. They'll be like, oh, I DM'd you before this or whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yes.
So it's cool.
Totally. So that's a really nice crossover that we only get to experience from touring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things with touring that is like feels super lucky. Like, because again, we edit our posts all the time with our songs and I get kind of like not sick of my songs, but like you just use the same soundbite or whatever, but then you go and perform your songs and you're like, oh, dang, these are good.
Yeah.
Song, bumps. And like playing it with a live band, like they're going hard and I'm like, wait, that part of the song is really cool too. Maybe I could do it like this. It helps. Yeah. It helps.
Yeah. It brings new energy and new life to the song.
Totally.
Yeah. And just seeing people sing along with it
totally
gives me energy. Like it's just cyclical. Like we're feeding back and forth energy with the audience.
Another thing with like smaller shows is when we had these bigger shows last run, I didn't know this, but I was relying on the crowd to like give me that energy to perform well. And then for this tour, I went into it mentally being like, you have to bring the energy. They're not, and turns out small and mighty crowds can give you the energy, but like I really went into it as like you're the person who's supposed to give them energy, not vice versa. And I think it's easier to remember for a smaller crowd. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
It's good so like important. Practice to be like,
yeah,
this is your performance. They're not performing for you.
Totally. Yeah, I think it's just good to be real because there's so many artists that I see on social media posting like their sold out shows all the time.
Yeah.
And that's just not reality for every artist out there.
It's
And
super sick when people can do sold out shows. Like, of course, that's like our goal. And we were able to do that on the last run. And I bet if we went to like a bunch of cities on the East Coast, like we'd be able to fill out those spaces. But like we're again in Sacramento.
And we're growing in these other markets now. So we're putting in the work now so that later we can come back and more people will come. They'll bring their friends next time and it'll grow. But we're putting in the hard work right now.
We had 2 girls last night that came. They don't know each other except for when they come to our show. They went to it in San Francisco and then they were like pretending like they were best friends. Maybe they are now.
Like they keep running into each other at our shows and now they're like show besties.
Yeah, that's so fun.
So cool.
This dad came up to me, my merch table, like right away, and he was like, "That was such an awesome show. I'm so happy I came. My daughter is at the airport. Her flight got delayed and like she's super bummed that she couldn't make it, but we were supposed to come together and I almost didn't come and I'm so glad I made it." And I was like, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
I did feel bad for his daughter, but like it's kind of cool that I don't know, maybe he was 50, a 50-year-old dude can come and be like, that was awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
I just felt like honored.
Totally.
And then at one of my shows, I sing Bestie, and this woman came up to me after and she's like, "I just want to let you know I'm here with my wife and her ex-husband. And we're all besties." And I'm like, oh my God. And I think like the ex-husband was the one who was a fan of you. And he brought his ex-wife and her new wife being like, you might like the opener. And they're like, your songs were our life to a T. We were freaked out.
Yeah, I love the crossover that us touring together has brought. I
It's
feel
so
like
cool.
It continues to do that. Yeah, I love going back to the dad that came. I love specifically when men are a fan of my music or come up to me after shows and are like fanboying for the music and the show. Because I don't know, like obviously my music is my brand is very pink and girly. But I feel like the concepts of my songwriting is like universal. It's not just specifically for girls. Of course, I'm a girl, so it is based on my experience. But I do think it's nice when boys can relate and feel like they feel seen in my music as well.
That's so cool.
It's just awesome to me. I also just wanted to mention that we're in our tour van with all of our equipment.
Yeah.
So this stuff lives in our van when we're on tour. Like all our merch, our instruments, all the equipment, are like any gifts that any fans bring us are back here. Like this is like a little pinwheel from Vancouver that somebody brought us with the Canada flag all over it. I have like a little drawing from one of my younger fans that came to a show.
Or this bag from Hawaii.
Oh, yep, from a fan who flew in from Hawaii named Cam, who came to Portland. So yeah, it's got everything that we could ever need is in this van.
Or stuffed animals.
Can't forget the stuffed animals.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I bought a stuffed animal in Idaho. And it was like the perfect huggable cow. And his name was Oscar. And in the first Airbnb, I left him. This is what he looked like.
What?
I'm going to send you a picture. Because he's so cute. He literally was so cute. And he was wrapped up in the sheets and I forgot him.
He was pretty cute. So sad.
Whatever.
I literally met him for one day of the tour, and then he was gone.
Yeah.
Just it lives in memory now.
I like to think that the person who owned that Airbnb found it and like was like, I'll give it to the kid who lives next door.
Or threw it away.
No.
When we're on tour, food is like this is our food basket right down here.
We need to get more.
I know. So this has like snacks in it and a game. LOL. That's not supposed to be in there.
For the girls.
It's usually just like our snacks when we're on the road. But making sure everyone is fed and not cranky and in a bad mood is super important on tour. And like usually we only have time to eat breakfast and dinner, I would say, because we're driving during lunchtime and we don't have time to stop.
if we have a show that night, we can't really stop.
Yeah.
But even just the other day, we did have time to stop, but we were traveling over like Oregon or something.
Oh, yeah.
No internet, no food for miles.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh my God, thank God we got gas the night before because we would have been screwed.
Yeah, it was completely deserted for miles and miles and miles. And luckily we had our snack bin, so we were able to like have some snacks. But that was something I didn't even factor in, that there would be no food for a long stretch of land.
And then we found a little cafe, only one for miles, and it was in a town filled with 100 people.
Yep. And I said, where do you guys go out to eat? And she was like, we don't, we eat at home. And she was like, if we want to go out for like a special night, we go to this town that's an hour away. And we went through the town. And it was like a small, it was cute, but it was like a very small town as well. So it was just interesting to like
see how other people live.
Yeah, live their whole life. Like she was born and raised there. She's never going to leave. And like I feel so blessed that we have this opportunity to like dream and chase this dream.
Yeah.
And like do crazy things like tour around the country.
Totally.
But anyway, so when we get breakfast like at like Starbucks or Dunkin' in the morning on our way out. And then when we get to the venue, we usually Uber Eats or like DoorDash some food for dinner.
Or the venue has food, really dispense.
Yeah. And for me, I cannot have dairy before I sing. So on show days, I only eat chicken and rice. So it's generally Asian food. So like and they kind of all have to eat what I eat because like we're all eating from one place. So if we have 3 or 4 shows in a row, we're eating Asian food 3 or 4 nights in a row.
I just don't think anybody else cares. I don't care really. I'm like, I just need food. That's why I'm always like, just get me what you get because I don't care what I'm eating. I've
been so surprised every night. You're like, I'll just eat the same thing
I don't
as you.
care. I just need something in my belly and that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like all foods.
Well, that's good.
And then I think like I wouldn't want to have like mac and cheese before a show either. But like, so that's why I'm totally down to do like whatever.
Yeah. It's usually I switch between like ramen and chicken teriyaki. It's like my 2 go-tos.
Chicken rice? Okay.
Yeah. And then on off days, I'll have pizza or mac and cheese or whatever dairy stuff.
The first day we totally forgot to order food right when we got to the venue because it was our first show and we were really scrambling to get things together. And we had to eat. I think I ate when I got off the stage.
And I ate right before I went on because that was like when the food finally arrived and we were starving. I ate it really fast and didn't even process that like I was about to go on stage and sing. The whole show, I was like burping and like having like
I was burping reflux, last night.
Like through the show. And I would like pull my mic away because I like couldn't sing a line.
I did the same thing last night. Like I'd be like burp. Come back in.
And I was like, I don't know if anyone can tell what's going on here, but I was like, this is the weirdest feeling. Don't eat food right before you're about to sing. So we talked about how right before this tour, I was on tour with Nightly, which is a band from Nashville. I was the first of 3, which means I was the opener for the opener of
That's
Nightly.
right.
So it was me, then direct support, then Nightly. And since it was such a small set and like budget wise, I just brought my boyfriend to open with me. He played piano, guitar, and drum pad. And then it was just the 2 of us on stage. And the whole tour, I was the only female. Like
that'd be really, really hard.
Everyone around me was a man. That's what I typically find when I tour. So that's why it reminded me of why I chose to have an all-female band.
Yeah.
That's why I chose to go this route. And I felt immediately like relaxed and at home once we all got back together.
Totally.
It's just like different the way girls and guys communicate. The things we talk about in the van is like, we're talking about the Twilight movies. We're talking about like who we have a crush on, like our breakups, like girly stuff.
Yeah.
That I don't know, that girls can like relate and communicate to each other and like get deep with each other in a way that like I feel like with boys it's more like surface, like jokey.
Or they feel like they can't relate to you, so it turns into surface level stuff. So they might be awesome, but they're just like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
holding back in some way by accident.
Yeah.
And that's not the case for like all guys, but like
totally.
It's hard when there's like a pack of dudes all traveling together and you're like the one girl that's like,
Definitely, definitely.
That probably was so hard.
Yeah, but luckily I had my boyfriend with me, so I had him to lean on, which was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been. I feel like this crew has been awesome. We have everyone back except for our guitarist. Was not able to come back this time, so we have a new guitarist, but she's been great,
So
Chelsea.
awesome.
But we have our same drummer, Mace, and our same front of house / tour manager, Summer. And I feel like everyone's getting along so well.
It's been really fun.
It's like a nice.
It's honestly so sick. Mace is gonna make enchiladas
for
tonight.
dinner.
I can't wait.
Yeah, because we have a day off, so we can cook.
Yeah.
In our Airbnb.
Which apparently was really wanted.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care
I'm
about having
excited.
fast food,
Yeah.
but it's nice to have a home cooked meal.
Totally.
It is nice.
And I also, like, we've been watching Mormon Moms.
Yeah, so Mace and Chelsea are obsessed with this show, like based on Mom Talk.
Yeah.
Mormon Wives.
Moms.
Mormon
I don't know.
Wives of,
You know what we're talking
whatever.
about. And it's honestly super dumb, but really exciting.
I've never really been a reality TV person.
I liked Vanderpump Rules and The Bachelorette. I feel like you like The Bachelorette too.
I do.
But sometimes it's boring. It really depends. Like sometimes I'm so sucked in and other times I'm like,
I think what I like about The Bachelorette or Bachelor is that it's like love. Like the goal is to like find love, and I love love.
And the other thing is more like drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm like, I don't know you. I don't really care about your drama.
Totally. I've been like, well, they had it on today and I was just like editing my stuff. So it was just like over my shoulder, Mormon moms fighting.
Yeah. It is interesting how they all look like they're from like LA, kind of. The way they do their makeup and their hair, like stunning. And they all have kids.
They
and
all
they're
look
our
so
age.
much older than us.
And they're our
I'm like,
age.
that girl's 30?
And they've
Damn.
got like 3 kids.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine.
I think it just shows like the difference of humanity. It's like what potentially
your path in life.
could really choose.
Like, we are dressing up like little girls in like pink and blue on stage every night, and they've got 3 kids that they're like,
and like in a really nice home. I'm like, damn, girl. Okay,
the duality of
snacks,
women.
I desperately need to eat this. My belly's making all this noise.
I haven't heard it, but thank God we have the snacks in the van. Okay.
I also have fake nails.
Oh,
Rose has been able to do one thing.
Rose has asked me to open many a thing on this tour for her.
I don't think I'll do fake nails again.
So now that I'm playing guitar in my set, I can only have short nails on the road, whereas I used to wear like press-ons and stuff and have long nails. But I'm able to get in dirty and do everything I need to do on tour. So ultimately, it's actually better, I've found, for me to have these short nails.
Last time I had these nails and it didn't slow me down. This time I'm fumbling so hard.
Interesting. I wonder what
Guess
the
I'm
difference
out of practice.
is. Maybe. You haven't worn them in a while.
I haven't in like a year.
Yeah. Each show, I use a megaphone on stage, and then at the end of the show, I sell it at the merch table. So you can get a one-of-one megaphone that I used on stage, and I sign it, and I put like stickers on it. I decorate it myself. And Rose has started doing that too this tour with a Calvin Klein bra because of her song Calvin Klein.
Because I had my song Calvin Klein come out right before tour. I've been wearing Calvin Klein bras, all different types, that say the name of the location we're at. And then I've been selling it, and 15% goes to the Breast Cancer Foundation.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
I'm so excited about it.
That's awesome. And the bras, like how you put the text on?
Yeah, it's like iron-on patches.
It's so cool.
It's really fun. It's like, I think it makes me like excited for each night which bra I'm going to wear. I'm like, oh yeah. It's like the part of the whole fit. Part of the whole thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's such a good idea.
And then when I go to sell the bra, I obviously am not wearing it anymore. So I've been wearing these shirts. I really got into the ironing on stuff. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to iron on everything.
She's a crafty girl.
And so my next song that's coming out is called Flirt with Women. And I took lyrics from that upcoming release and put them on my shirts, and I've been giving the shirts also to Chelsea,
the guitarist.
But I realized like this one is just, she's kind of cute, but the rest are like roasting us. It's like no game, going home alone.
Last night Rose came out, and she has a different shirt on every night, and when I perform, Rose comes out for one song to sing with me. And so it's kind of a sentimental song. And Rose walks out with a shirt that says send nudes or send her nudes. And I was like, what? And I was trying to focus on my lyrics. I almost like forgot what I was about to sing, like reading her
Send
shirt.
her nudes.
I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, got it.
But it was pretty funny.
It's not always the right time, but it's always the right shirt.
So I've never sent nudes.
Me neither. I've never sent a nude. Fine, I have sent a nude.
I have all my life known that I wanted to be famous, and I never wanted a scandal to come out that I sent nudes to somebody, so I have always refused. Anytime anyone's ever asked me, like a boyfriend or whatever, I've always been like, I will never send you a nude.
I don't believe anyone I date is malicious. And I just don't really foresee them doing that. Maybe that's naive. But I feel like it's such a human thing when you start dating someone to want to do that, especially because we're gone a lot. Not that I'm constantly doing it. I've literally only done it like once or twice in my life. But
I think it's pretty normal.
I think it's really fun with whoever you're dating is like a fun little thing to do.
I'm definitely the odd one out here. I just think there's a lot of like hacking and stuff. Like people can hack into phones and like get those things if they really wanted to like blackmail us, especially as like we're growing our social media and stuff. So
tell me you have some nudes on your phone.
No.
But then what if when you're old and gray, you don't have any photos of
Why
yourself?
do I need to see my private parts?
You're not like full on private
so
part.
funny.
But it's like, I think it's kind of fun to think of myself as like an 80-year-old woman and seeing this old photo of myself and being like,
that's so interesting.
Cool.
I never thought about that. Maybe I will do that.
Yeah, and then you could maybe print it out, put it in a little envelope and hide it somewhere, and then you can delete it off, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool.
Maybe like a physical version of it. I think just having it on my phone freaks me out because of like how people can like get in there.
I understand that.
But also, last night when we were changing in our green room, there was a camera in there, and I actually was like thinking, because now I'm 30 and I like know myself so well, and I was like, if someone did get a video of me naked, would I care? And
I personally wouldn't, and maybe this is wrong, but the camera was in the corner, and I'm like, that's weird to have a camera in a changing room.
I think it's not typically a green room. I think they just turned that into a green room for us. We're playing a lot of places that kind of have makeshift green rooms, I would say.
It felt very green room.
Really?
Yeah.
It felt like just a room to me. I don't know. But I will say I've heard horror stories of like a band going to play a show, coming back to their green room, and like all their wallets are stolen. So a part of me was like, oh, it's for security. So like our stuff is safe.
Got it.
But we are changing in there as well.
I don't think if that got out, people would be like, oh no, poor Rose and Brooke.
That's what I'm
so
thinking.
effed
like it's
up.
like it's clearly we're changing in a green room.
Yeah.
Why is there a video of
Yeah.
it? So I don't think that would make us look bad in any way.
I don't think taking a nude at all is bad. I think it's fun and exciting. I do. I think anybody that gets like punished for that, I don't think people get punished for that these days.
I think it's mainly like I'm thinking when you're younger, like if we were 21.
I agree.
I think now that we're like 30 and we
yes
like love our bodies and like
totally.
who
No
we
one
are
can
as
like
people.
rip it up and be like ugly. I can be like, I like myself.
Yeah. So we're in a different place.
You're so
mentally.
right.
And that's why I was thinking like if a video did get taken of me right now, I wouldn't be as sad as I would have been devastated if I was like 19 and that happened to me.
I would have also.
Yeah.
I would have been like, fuck.
Yeah. And so that's the same thing I think with the nude thing. I'm like, oh, I'm coming around to like that idea of it more now as an adult. As like when I was younger.
You heard it here first. Brooke Alex is gonna take some nudes.
Maybe I'll dive into this new part of myself.
Oh my god.
As I said, this is everything that we pack in the van normally. Last tour, we had a U-Haul off the back.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was because we were so stressed when we were switching, when our van broke down and we were switching into this one. We were like, we need all this extra space to fit everything. I think we could have fit it all in here. I don't know.
I think we could have too at the time. I think like obviously this setup is a little less, I don't think there's one spot in this setup that's like, you are going to be really comfortable and have your own little space.
Yeah.
So like, but I do think.
And Rose is a comfort queen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need
like
to
at
be
first,
comforted.
all of these seats were super, like, no back at all. Like, it was all pushed up like this.
Straight
Imagine
up.
driving. When we unloaded the van for a show, I went back into the van early, snuck in, and pushed this row, like, put all of them back, reclined each of the chairs just a little.
And she didn't tell us. And then one day, like days later, was like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but your seats are more comfy now.
Because everything is put in here, like, very precisely.
It is more comfy.
It's way more comfy.
It's nicer to be reclined instead of completely straight up, for
It's
sure.
hours. It's hours that you're in the car. I will always push for comfortability. However, I think that this was a really, like, I think this is something that I can do. It's like, at first, I was like, all of us in the van with all of our stuff, that's going to be so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well,
but
what's
easy
good,
to make it work.
I knew we had to leave that chair open, at least. So 2 people here, 1 person there, and then 2 here.
And people are all, like, everybody we're with is really, I think, like, flexible in where they're sitting. So, like, you have 2 hours in the back, 2 hours move up here. And, like, to be honest, I actually really like sitting back there. I did get a headache after a little, but, like, it was not bad at all.
That's good.
And I am bougie.
I think it helps that we're all, like, little girls.
I don't think my brother could do this at all.
Yeah. With, like, 5 of your brothers.
No.
How tall's your brother again?
6'4".
Yeah, that would be crazy. But I think it's been fine and worth saving the money to not have that extra U-Haul rental.
I think so. And it's honestly been way easier to drive, park, everything.
Yes, parking and driving.
Do you know that if you have a U-Haul attached in the back, you have to drive, if you're backing up, you have to
drive the opposite way to back it up to so if you want to back up to the right, you have to turn to the left.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
We all got kind of good at it.
I think I became my best driving self from that tour.
You were really iconic.
Thank you.
I
would say up until then, I was kind of maybe a bad driver was my reputation. And now I'm like, I'm a good driver.
Yes.
I can handle it. I had to step up to the plate. Packing wise, we always share a big check luggage, which one side of it has my stage clothes and one side of it has Rose's stage clothes. And then we have 2 separate little, like, carry-on luggages for our day-to-day clothes. And inside the pink big luggage, we have all of our clothes, like, meal prepped. in like baggies. So, like, each show is in a plastic bag separated.
And I went even farther this time. I, like, picked, because I had the name of each place on the bra that I'm wearing. I had to just go ahead and pick. And I even had, like, my girlfriend pick which was which. Because I actually think that it is time consuming, like, day of the show. Like, what am I going to wear? Totally. Which one of these? I like that I had to be like, oh, this is Portland's.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Vancouver. I love that. It's been super helpful.
That's so good. I will say mine has gotten a little crazy because I also did the nightly tour before this. So, like, things are not in their bags anymore. And I am kind of picking out my outfits every night at this point. But I've had enough experience with past outfits that I already have an idea of, like, which outfits already work together. Like, it's not just, like, random clothes that I'm putting together. Like, I already have an idea of the outfits from past shows.
And before we did the first tour, that's kind of what we did. We just both bought a bunch of random stuff. We were kind of were in a specific vibe. And then, like, you'd put on a skirt and a shirt and we'd be like, no.
Yeah.
And then we put on another and be like, what if you did this as well?
Yeah.
And then
like something crazy, like a vest over that shirt.
You can wear whatever you want on stage. Like, you can be, like, totally crazy.
And the more crazy you are, the more iconic it is, especially as an artist.
The hard line is, like, you don't want to just be crazy to be crazy. You want there to be, I think a reason for the craziness, and then it's iconic.
I have a lot of people come up to me after the show and be like, who's your stylist? And I'm like, me and Rose picked out all these outfits.
That is so crazy.
Which makes me feel really good. Yeah. I will say, like, dressing ourselves as artists has taught me that, like, the way to be fashionable is to layer a bunch of shit on top of yourself. Like this. Like, I just have a t-shirt on, which is, like, when I wear just this t-shirt, it's like a black t-shirt, but then I put this thing over it, and now it's like,
that does look really cool.
That's interesting. And, like, I feel like being an artist and choosing these outfits has, like, given me this whole door open of fashion ideas and things that we can do that maybe, like, the normal person wouldn't even try to do.
One of the things that gets me excited for the show is what I'm going to wear. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited for that one outfit.
Yeah.
I'm really pumped. The one thing that hasn't been working like I thought it was is I bought, last tour I had these iconic orange boots that I wore so much. And I bought blue ones this time around, but I didn't really realize I ordered ones that had like a lot of fabric on the outside, but I'm wearing a lot of pants this time around. So I've
Oh,
just stuck with wearing the orange ones because the orange ones are like thin and fit underneath
yeah.
pants. So I don't know, just something that was a total freaking miss.
I did see those blue boots and I was like, when's she going to wear them? Because they're so
I
cool.
know, I should have worn it the last tour when I was wearing a bunch of skirts.
Dang. So you're not really wearing any skirts
I
this time?
didn't. I wanted to like stick with the Calvin Klein top, and because I wore like more of a simpler top, I needed to wear a more unique bottom. And before I was just wearing a white skirt, so it needed to have a little bit of
Totally.
more going on. I legit wore a uniform my whole life, kindergarten through senior year of high school. So like, I'm not. I would say that made me like not care about clothes that much except when I'm leaving the house. Like if I'm inside the house, I wear like like just like pajamas, like, and so I feel like proud of myself when I do these show outfits because I'm like I barely even know how to dress.
No, I think you've always been super creative with stuff, so it's just another outlet for your creativity.
I had a friend from college say the thing that I remember about you first is that you always wore things that didn't go together.
That's hilarious. Well, I would argue some things that we're wearing now doesn't really go together, but we're like telling you it does, so it
Yeah.
does. You know what I mean?
It does go together.
We're on stage in front of you, so it must go together. But also, like on the road, usually when it's not a show day, we wear the same thing every
Yeah.
day. Like
Mhm.
kind of like sweats, sweatshirts. It's a little hot on the West Coast, so you haven't been able to wear
I've actually
that.
been in pain. Like I did not pack correct. I packed like one of those comfort sweatsuits. Last time I wore a blue one and I got a green one this time, but I've been so hot in it, I haven't been able to wear it. And I barely pack shorts, so I'm like really confused. I'm always just like, I'm not correctly dressed.
But yeah, we're pretty much in like lounge wear in the van every day, except for when we get dressed for the
Except
show.
I've been seeing you wear like real legit pants in the van, and I'm like,
That's because
I saw you put those brown pants on the other day, and I was like, oh my God.
Well, that's because that's all I brought. Like, I didn't bring sweatpants this time. I just brought comfy pants that aren't tight jeans.
Totally.
But they still, like, look kind of cool, I guess,
Cool.
to you. Thanks.
Yeah, they do look cool. I'm like, I can't believe she's wearing legit pants today.
Right before I left for the nightly tour, I decided on what the next music is that I'm going to put out, which is going to be a new era of music I'm very excited about. And we've been in the process of finishing those songs this whole time I've been on tour. And so, yes, this morning, the production got sent to the mixer for the next song that's going to come out after this tour. So I'm very excited, but that's like been very stressful. I feel like on tour I'm kind of brain dead.
I always am like, I'm going to get so much work done because we have so much time in the car, but like, I'm just surviving on tour. And the thought of like actually getting stuff done is really, really hard.
Yeah, and
It's
like
stressful.
we have to still edit our TikToks that we post every night. And
You have to prepare for the show. You have to get your merch all together. You have to fix whatever didn't work the night before. There's so many things that you're thinking of. And then we each have our others, like you're putting out your next music. I have my music video for Calvin Klein coming out next Friday. So like I'm trying to figure out the best way to promote that.
you're making teasers,
Yeah.
and we have to stare at our computer screens to do all that, and then we're
Yeah.
getting car sick in the van while we're driving for hours on end on these twisty roads on the highway.
Yeah.
So it's definitely difficult, but we're making it work.
Yeah, we're making it work, and it's good that we had this day. I got a lot of editing done, and like you finished your like production notes or whatever.
Yeah, I was able to yesterday, since we were in Sacramento for all like at the Airbnb all day before our show. I was able to like call back and forth with the producer and like get the song to the place it needed to be so it's still on time. Because I was almost like maybe I should just push it off a week, but I knew that later me would be so upset if I did that out of laziness or whatever. So I just sucked it up and I did it, and it's sent off now.
Woo!
So I'm feeling good.
Ouch, that's hot. A hot take.
My hot take
Yeah.
is that I would rather drive around for an extra hour, be pissed off the rest of the night at everything and everyone, than pay $20 for parking.
And I disagree.
Rose is all about comfort, and Rose is like, just pay it right now. Like, don't even look for another spot.
Yes, do you remember that time we were all going to it was like a Christmas bar pop-up downtown in Nashville. We get there, Brooke's like, I just got here parking. We order our drinks. We get some food. We're sitting down. We're gabbing. And we're like, where the hell is Brooke? 40 minutes later, she comes in and she's pissed. And I'm kind of like, I'm not in the mood to be pissed. I literally was like, that was so dumb. And you weren't happy either. I think there should be a time limit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's crazy.
I mean, I'm just mad that Nashville has implemented paid parking everywhere now.
Yeah, I feel like that's true for like everywhere though.
It's like that's the downfall of civilization was when they started implementing that.
Because you used to be able to in Nashville like find little side streets everywhere or like park at the local church or something.
I mean, free parking is like a God-given right, I feel like. Like, it's just ridiculous.
I do get what you mean. Like, sometimes I think I am bad. Like, I think there's a price point. Like, if I see like $7 parking, I'm like, and there's no parking in sight, I'm gonna park there.
That's crazy.
But then you come in and you're fuming mad, and I'm kind of like, I don't care that you're fuming mad. You chose that.
I chose
my
fate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's like a push and a pull for both.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to look for a little, and the price shouldn't, like, if it's a $20 thing, but you're going to be there all day and there's no parking in sight, park there. Park there.
$20.
It's a full day affair and there's nowhere else to park. You've been looking already for like a good 6-7 minutes. There's no parking.
It also depends on the city. Like, if I'm in New York City, I'll pay $20 because that's cheap there.
Yeah.
To park in New York City. But in Nashville, Tennessee,
either that or like you're paying a $12 Uber to get there. Like, it's like,
I'm spoiled because I've never had to pay for Ubers because I don't drink. Mm-hmm. So I'm already like in the mindset of I'm not spending any money tonight. I'm not paying for an Uber. I'm not buying drinks. I'm not paying for parking. I'm having a free night, fun night out.
Yeah, but when does it cross over to not a fun night? Do you know what I mean?
True.
I'm just kind of like, there's a moment where you're like, I just got to pay for it. And then once you let that go, you don't pay for it twice. Don't think about it again. Leave the car. But also, that's why I'm broke. Also, there's a push and a pull, people.
Also, we're here together, so we should discuss my cup at your apartment.
Oh, yeah.
Because the ceramic plates and cups and utensils should never leave the home, as I've said in a previous video.
That was such a crazy video, and I loved it. Yes, I don't know how I have one of your cups at mine. I don't like it. I never use it.
How did it get there?
I don't know. Do you think maybe... No. It's definitely for me. I don't know exactly.
Probably when you were moving.
I do feel bad about it. But...
Which is funny because also when we were living together, you hated my cups.
I hated
So why would you take my cup?
I don't know.
Rose had a whole separate cabinet with her cups,
which were like her cups.
Unique and like had different shapes and
Brooke's
stuff.
Brooke's cups were like Snoozeville. But every once in a while, I want a Snoozeville cup.
I like all my cups to look exactly the same and all the plates to look like a set. And Rose wants them all to be unique and different. And so
I like the idea of a set. Like, at home now I have like 4 of everything.
Okay.
Or like 2 of everything.
That's
at
fun.
least. But I just like variety. Like, a different mood is a different cup.
I think the next place I move, I'd like to have a variety, but have, like you said, like there's a 4 group of each thing or something.
I do believe that if, like, I shouldn't have your cup for that long. However, I do love to leave the house with a real cup. In fact, like, the coffee just hits better. Like, if you're taking your coffee around in a glass cup, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. We wish we wrote it.
There is a guy named Alex Coles that I've actually showed you this song already, but he actually came to my Toronto show with opening for Nightly.
Oh, cool.
And he's written a lot of stuff with other Nashville people, and he started teasing this song, and I think the chorus is so catchy.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Need some alcohol.
Admiral.
That, she don't even try.
Yeah.
That's so
and
catchy.
The rhymes are super unique too, like Aperol, natural.
Yeah.
I just think it's an alcohol. I just think it's really clever and fun.
I like the way he looks.
Yeah,
He looks fun.
He's got a cool look for sure.
Unique.
And
Edgy.
then also I wanted to talk about Sailor.
Yeah.
My new obsession, and I think she's going to be the next SZA. I love her because she's Asian, first of all, and she does R&B.
Go Asians.
Yeah, and something really unique about her is her teeth are black.
Are they?
Yeah, so she wears these black grills because I think she's like Vietnamese or something, where that's part of the like culture.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's super unique and memorable. Anyway, she put out a song called Pookie's Requiem.
So good.
So cool and unique, and I've been showing like everyone it, and then she just dropped an album and announced a tour which sold out in minutes.
What did she say?
You sold my first tour out in minutes. My ex couldn't even last that long. Love you all. See you for this full bush summer. That's hilarious.
I like she has that soft girl summer song. I think that sounds really cool.
Yeah. Which one should we play?
I like Pookie.
Okay.
Might as well. That's like her biggest one.
It's the biggest one. Pookie's Requiem.
I love how it's the first lyric. I'm like, I'm in. Yes.
The voices are cool too.
Wait,
it's like Doechii. I do think the for that style of music, the producer is everything. Like the producer is choosing those really cool weird sounds and making our ear go, "Whoa, what is that?" So
I do think the melodies though, like it's a combination.
Yeah. And like you love SZA's album, and I liked it too after like a few listens, but like her melodies, Sailor's melodies, immediately I like. So there's something different there, even though they're both R&B.
I think they're R&B, but like one's experimental. And tomorrow we hit the road for Santa Cruz.
Yep. And then San Diego, Dallas, and Kansas City.
I won't be at Kansas City because I have my little sister's graduation.
Yes.
So I'll be headed to Portland, Maine.
Rose is leaving us, and then Katie Mack is going to be opening instead, who is our friend.
Yeah.
That moved to LA a few years ago.
I'm sad I won't be at that show.
I'm excited to see her. I haven't seen her in a while.
I'm excited for you to see her.
Sorry. But yeah, she's from that area, so she's going to fly in and do that.
And I actually follow her TikTok pretty closely.
Really?
So, yeah, I'm like, her life is crazy.
Yes. She's fun, though.
Yeah.
I think she has a really funny way of telling stories.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She's just cute to me.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. That was a good
podcast episode.
Woohoo.
See you next time.
Bye.